Evansville is a city in and the county seat of Vanderburgh County, Indiana, United States. The population was 117,429 at the 2010 census. Is the state's third largest city and the largest city in southern Indiana. It is the commercial, medical, and cultural hub of southwestern Indiana and the Illinois-Indiana-Kentucky tri-state area. The 38th parallel crosses the north side of the city and is marked on Interstate 69. Situated on an oxbow in the Ohio River, the city is often referred to as the Crescent Valley, or River City, as testament to the Ohio's grandeur. Early French explorers named it La Belle Rivière. The area has been inhabited by various cultures for millennia, dating back at least 10,000 years. Angel Mounds was a permanent settlement of the Mississippian culture from 1000 AD to around 1400 AD. The city itself was founded in 1812. The broad economic base of the region has helped to build an economy which is known for its stability, diversity, and vitality. 4 NYSE companies are headquartered in Evansville, along with the Global Operations Center for NYSE company Mead Johnson. 3 other companies traded on the NASDAQ are located in Evansville. The city is home to public and private enterprise in many areas, as Evansville serves as the economic hub of the region. The city has several well-known educational institutions. The University of Evansville is a small private school located on the city's east side, while the University of Southern Indiana is a larger public institution located just outside the city's west side limits. Other local educational institutions have also garnered praise and attention, including nationally ranked Signature School and the Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. In 2008, Evansville was voted the best city in the country in which to live, work, and play by the readers of Kiplinger, and in 2009 the 11th best. History. See main article, History of Evansville, Indiana. There was a continuous human presence in the area that became Evansville from at least 8000 BC by Paleo-Indians. Archaeologists have identified several archaic and ancient sites in and near Evansville, with the most complex at Angel Mounds from about 900 AD to about 1600 AD, just before the appearance of Europeans. Following the abandonment of Angel Mounds between the years 1400 and 1450, tribes of Miami, Shawnee, Pianca Shore, Wyandot, Delaware and other Native American peoples were known to be in the area. The land encompassing Evansville was formally relinquished by the Delaware in 1805 to General William Henry Harrison, then governor of the Indiana Territory. French hunters and trappers were among the first Europeans to come to the area, using Vincennes as a base of operations. On March 27, 1812, Hugh McGarry Jr. purchased about 441 acres and named it McGarry's Landing. In 1814, to attract more people, McGarry renamed his village Evansville in honor of Colonel Robert Morgan Evans. Evansville incorporated in 1817 and became a county seat on January 7, 1818. The county was named for Henry Vanderburgh, a deceased chief judge of the Indiana Territorial Supreme Court. Evansville soon became a thriving commercial town with an extensive river trade, and the town began to expand outside of its original footprint. The west side of Evansville was for many years cut off from the main part of the city by Pigeon Creek and the wide swath of factories that made the creek an important industrial corridor. The land comprising the former town of Lamasco was platted in 1837 and was ultimately annexed in 1870. Evansville's economy received a boost in the early 1830s when Indiana unveiled plans to build the longest canal in the world. a 400-mile ditch connecting the Great Lakes at Toledo, Ohio with the inland rivers at Evansville. The project was intended to open Indiana to commerce and improve transportation from New Orleans to New York. Unfortunately, the project bankrupted the state and was so poorly engineered that it would not hold water. By the time the Wabash-Erie Canal was finished in 1853, Evansville's first railroad, Evansville and Amp Crawfordsville Railroad, was opened to tear out. Railroads had made the canal obsolete. Only 2 flat barges ever made the entire trip. The canal basin at 5th and Court Street in downtown Evansville eventually became the site of a new courthouse in 1891. The era of Evansville's greatest growth occurred in the second half of the 19th century, following the disruptions of the Civil War. The city was a major stop for steamboats along the Ohio River, and it was the home port for a number of companies engaged in trade via the river. Coal mining, manufacturing, and hardwood lumber was a major source of economic activity. By 1900, Evansville was one of the largest hardwood furniture centers in the world, with 41 factories employing approximately 2,000 workers. Eventually, railroads became more important, and in 1887 the L and Amp N Railroad constructed a bridge across the Ohio River, along with a major rail yard southwest of Evansville, Indiana, a town, Howell, which was annexed in 1916 and completed the city's counterclockwise march around the Horseshoe Bend. Throughout this period, Evansville's main ethnic groups consisted of Germans fleeing Europe, Protestant Scotch-Irish from the South, Catholic Irish coming for canal or railroad work, New England businessmen, and newly freed slaves from western Kentucky. By the U.S. Census of 1890, Evansville ranked as the 56th largest urban area in the United States, a rank it gradually fell from in the early 1900s. As the new century began, growth in the city continued to move eastward. Manufacturing also took off, particularly in the automobile and refrigeration industries. The city saw exponential growth in the early 20th century, with production of lumber and the manufacturing of furniture. By 1920, there were more than 24 furniture companies in Evansville. In the decades of the 1920s and 1930s, city leaders attempted to improve Evansville's transportation position and successfully lobbied to be located on the Chicago to Miami-Dixie B Highway. A bridge was built across the Ohio River in 1932, and in that same decade steps were first taken to develop an airport. However, in 1937 a massive flood covering 500 city blocks proved to be a major crisis, with steamboats less of a factor in the local economy. City and federal officials responded to the flood with about 50 years of levee construction that penned and hid the Ohio River behind a barrier of earth and berms and concrete walls. During World War II, Evansville was a major center of industrial production, and as a result, it helped wipe away the last lingering effects of the Great Depression. A huge 45-acre shipyard complex was constructed on the riverfront east of St. Joseph Avenue for the production of ocean-going LSDs. The Evansville shipyard was the nation's largest inland producer of LSDs. The Plymouth factory was converted into a plant which turned out bullets by the billions, and many other companies switched over to the manufacture of war material. In 1942, the city acquired a factory adjacent to the airport north of the city for the manufacture of the P-47 Thunderbolt fighter aircraft, known as the P-47Ds. Evansville produced a total 6,242 P-47s, almost half of the P-47s made during the war. After the war, Evansville's manufacturing base of automobiles, household appliances, and farm equipment benefited from growing post-war demand. A growing housing demand also caused residential development to leap north and east of the city. However, between 1955 and 1963, a nationwide recession hit Evansville particularly hard. Among other closures, several went out of business and Chrysler terminated its local operations. The economy was saved from near-total collapse by 28 businesses that moved into the area, including Whirlpool, Alcoa, and General Electric. During the final third of the 20th century, Evansville became the commercial, medical, and service hub for the tri-state region. A 1990s economic spurt was fueled by the growth of the University of Southern Indiana, the arrival of giant Toyota and AK steel manufacturing plants, as well as Tropicana. Evansville, Indiana's first gaming boat, also contributed to the growth of jobs. As the 21st century began, Evansville continued in a steady pace of economic diversification and stability. Geography and climate. Geography. Evansville is located at 37 degrees 58 minutes 38 seconds north, 87 degrees 33 minutes 2 seconds west. According to the 2010 census, Evansville has a total area of 44.622 square miles, of which 44.15 square miles is land and 0.472 square miles is water. The city's southern boundary lies on an oxbow in the Ohio River. Most of the city lies in a shallow valley surrounded by low rolling hills. The west side of the city is built on these rolling hills and is home to Burdett Park, Mesca Amphitheater, and Mesca Park Zoo. The eastern portion of the city developed in the valley and is protected by a series of levees that closely follow the path of I-164-69. Notable landmarks on the east side of the 240-acre Wesselman Woods Nature Preserve and the Angel Mound State Historic Site, located just southeast of Evansville, between Evansville and Newborough. The Evansville metropolitan area, the 142nd largest in the United States, includes 4 Indiana counties and 2 Kentucky counties. The metropolitan area does not include Owensboro, Kentucky, which is an adjacent metropolitan area about 30 miles southeast of Evansville. This area is sometimes referred to as Kentuckiana, although the area is usually referred to as the Tri-State by the local media. Climate. Evansville lies in the northern reaches of a humid subtropical climate, and straddles the border between USDA plant hardiness zones 6B and 7A. Summers are hot and humid, winters are cool to cold. Average temperatures range from 32.5 degrees Fahrenheit in January to 78.0 degrees Fahrenheit in July. Annual rainfall averages 45.3 inches and seasonal snowfall averages 11.8 inches. Evansville winters can range from just 0.5 in of snowfall in 2011-12, up to 37.9 in 1969-70. Extreme temperatures range from -23 degrees Fahrenheit on February 2, 1951 up to 111 degrees Fahrenheit on July 28, 1930. Demographics. As of the census of 2010, there were 117,429 people, 50,588 households, and 28,085 families residing in the city. The population density was 2,659.8 inhabitants per square mile. There were 57,799 housing units at an average density of 1,309.2 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 82.0% white, 12.6% African American, 0.3% Native American, 1.0% Asian, 0.1% Pacific Islander, 1.3% from other races, and 2.8% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 2.6% of the population. There were 50,588 households, of which 27.6% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 34.8% were married couples living together. 15.6% had a female householder with no husband present. 5.2% had a male householder with no wife present, and 44.5% were non-families. 36.5% of all households were made up of individuals, and 11.9% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.23 and the average family size was 2.91. The median age in the city was 36.5 years. 22.1% of residents were under the age of 18, 11.7% were between the ages of 18 and 24, 26% were from 25 to 44, 25.8% were from 45 to 64, and 14.4% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 48.1% male and 51.9% female. Economy. Evansville is the regional center for a large trade area in Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois. The broad economic base of the region has helped to build an economy which is known for its stability, diversity, and vitality. The largest industry sectors by size in Evansville are healthcare, finance, education, and manufacturing. Other major industries by employment are energy, warehousing and distribution, and retail. Corporate headquarters located in Evansville include Accurate, Ameriqual Group, Anchor Industries, Atlas Van Lines, Berry Plastics, Ivana Tool and Amp Engineering, Carges Furniture, Koch Enterprises, Lewis Bakeries, Metronet, Old National Bank, Red Spot Paint and Amp Varnish, Shoe Carnival, Springleaf Financial, Trailer Brothers, and Vectron. Major manufacturing operations near the city include Alcoa in Newborough, AK Steel in Rockport, SABIC in Mount Vernon, and Toyota in Princeton. Other major employers with workforces of 500 or more in the area include AMP-T, Bristol-Myers Squibb, Guardian Automotive, SRG Global, Industrial Contractors, Me Johnson, Peabody Energy, PGW Pittsburgh Glass, TJ Maxx, and Tropicana. Evansville. Evansville has emerged as the Tri-State's major center for the healthcare and medical sciences industries. Deaconess Hospital and St. Mary's Hospital and Medical Center, along with the Deaconess Gateway and Women's Hospital located just outside city limits, provide the anchors for a vast healthcare system that are also among the region's largest employers. Educational institutions such as Evansville Vanderburgh School Corporation, Ivy Tech Community College of Indiana, University of Evansville, and the University of Southern Indiana also contribute thousands of jobs to the Tri-State annually. Evansville's strategic location on the Ohio River, strong rail and highway infrastructure, and its designation as a U.S. Customs port of entry make it an ideal location for the transfer of cargo, including internationally. Chemicals make up 64% of international exports from the metro area, followed by transportation equipment and food manufacturing. Evansville is also known as a regional energy hub due to the headquarters of veteran and regional energy-related facilities such as Babcock and Wilcox's Nuclear Operations Group, numerous coal mines, global blade technology, several large ethanol and biofuel facilities, and a robust network of gas and oil pipelines. Evansville is a partner in Project Green, a regional economic development plan focused on the energy industry. The city of Evansville offers a pro-business tax structure for companies locating inside the Evansville Urban Enterprise Zone. Established in 1984 as one of only 5 enterprise zones in the state of Indiana, the 2.1-SQUARE Evansville Urban Enterprise Zone offers inventory tax credits and other tax credits to eligible businesses. Cityscape. For more details on this topic, see List of tallest buildings in Evansville. Parks. Wesselman Woods Nature Preserve is a national natural landmark with nearly 200 acres of virgin bottomland hardwood forest. It is the largest tract of virgin forest located inside any city limits within the United States. The Nature Center features exhibits, events, wildlife observation areas, meeting rooms, library, and gift shop. Adjacent to the nature preserve, Wesselman Park features a par 3 golf course, basketball courts, tennis courts, sand volleyball courts, softball fields, and a playground. And Roberts Park is a proposed adjacent park on the former site of Roberts Stadium. Though funding for Roberts Park and an expansion to the park's system remains unresolved, Evansville has an extensive municipal park system with 65 parks and 21 special facilities encompassing more than 2,300 acres of land in the city of Evansville and Vanderburgh County. A growing bicycle and pedestrian trail extends into adjacent counties and ties into the American Discovery Trail. This trail system includes the Pigeon Creek Greenway Passage, a 42-mile trail that encircles the city. Access to the completed portions of the trail are found at Garvin Park and at the downtown riverfront. The city's Parks Department also operates 2 par 4 18-hole public golf courses, 1 par 3 18-hole course, 1 par 4 9-hole golf course, 2 disc golf courses, Garvin Park, Lloyd Pool, the Gerbil Soccer Complex, Swanda Ice Arena, and the C.K. Newsom Community Center, anchored by the Four Freedoms Monument and the Tropicana. Evansville Dress Plaza along the riverfront offers a brick-paved walkway above, and tiered seating below provide a view of the Ohio River. Convenient driving access with parking is available along the lower plaza that is the scene for numerous summer concerts and festivals. Located on nearly 200 acres of rolling hills in western Vanderburgh County well outside of the city limits, Burdett Park features an aquatic center with water slides, 3 pools, and a snack bar. It also offers a BMX racing track, batting cages, softball diamonds, miniature golf, tennis courts, and locations for fishing. Neighborhood districts. Evansville has 13 neighborhoods that have qualified for the National Register of Historic Places.